go up or down 2009 compared to 2008? Answer that, and then what specifically can you tell us that you think why it went up or down, and what you would change?
My business definitely went up. I also want to say that I've only been with Keller Williams for just a year and a half, 2 years, going on 2 years. And I didn't have the mentoring before or any of the opportunities in other environments. And my business went up, and I think primarily it was because I really discovered I was in the education business. Someone else had already mentioned it, but knowing the market and really sharing market statistics, being current all the time. It didn't matter if it was accepting an offer process and doing another interim CMA at the time to advise the seller, if I was the list agent, or the buyer, if I were the buyer's agent, as to what the market was bearing. Always trying to be as current as possible with market data, and then ensuring that the information as to what was going on in the market. When I write up my market analysis, I talk about the economy, how the impact of the economy is playing out, and then I use the stock market as an analogy as to what's going on as well. That the real estate market is really no different than the stock market. So if we bought last year at 50 and this year it's only 25, well, that's just the way it is, and that's the way buyers are today. So for me, I would say it's education, educating the buyers that I work with, educating the sellers that I work with, but more importantly, educating myself so I'm flat about the statistics and knowing my own statistics as to how I'm performing in the market is really the core of my success in moving up in my sales.
And that I had that help to show me how to use that and do it and give me, just the confidence that yes, it's possible, and all of that translates, and then doing the work really, made my business grow and go up tremendously for the last year.
Good.
Actually, I think I did both, because I think my GCI probably went down and my volume was probably the same, up a little bit. But I think that's mostly because of the lower prices, unfortunately.
So the average price range?
Yeah, my average sale price went down significantly. But
Did
we
you
still
do the
work
same
just as hard.
amount of units, Pam? Same amount of units?
Yeah, just about.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think just I do real estate because I really, really, really love it. And so I'm not one to say, oh, I'm going to leave these people behind and go after bigger listings or something like that. So I think that's what happened.
Okay.
My business definitely went up, which is a good thing. But I did exactly what Jason had talked about earlier, which is I just stopped worrying. I didn't worry about the things that I had no control over. I didn't take on or absorb my clients' problems. I didn't get involved in their personal issues. I stayed very focused on the business aspect of the transaction, and at the same time staying in an educated mode myself, where I really tried to learn one new thing every day and not stop doing that. And whether it was having a morning coffee and reading the Drudge Report online, or reading Boston.com for front page, but try to educate myself in the business world with at least one thing every day. Then I would also tag those things and send them out to the consumers that I was currently working with. I didn't send it out to all of my lead generation, but the ones that were active, the ones that I were engaged in conversations with, because it gave us something to talk about and build a rapport, reputation, and a relationship.
My business went up. I've been in this business 7 years, and I had last year was my best year. Actually, my business doubled from the previous year. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just saying, let go of all this stuff about the market. It has nothing to do with it. I think you stay focused and you do the stuff. Find a lead generation system that works for you and just plug into it. The one I use is fantastic, but it may not be right for everyone. But I execute it every day. I make sure that I got a constant stream of leads coming in. That's what it all starts with. You can be the best salesperson in the world, but if you got no one to sell with, then you're not selling anything. So you just constantly focus on the lead generation. Two things I've been really intentional about is choosing my clients, who I work with, and I also intentional about how I work with them. I tell them how I work, and if they like it, then we move forward. If not, then we don't. And I think that's been big for me because I'm not spending a lot of my time with negative energy and negative people. The other thing I'm doing is managing expectations. This is another thing that's been huge for me. If I'm working with a buyer, I think the common thing is to have them come in and say, this is gonna be tough, we're gonna look at 50 houses, it's a lot of work, there's a lot of houses out there. I kind of just made a mental shift and said, you know what, this is gonna be easy. There's more on the market now than there ever has been in the past, 10 years. We should be able to sit down, figure out what you're looking for, and go out find it.
That's it. Done.
Well, anyway, I don't need it. So basically, I've chosen to work with good people, and I think a lot of the negative energy you get from negative clients just feeds in everything else. You just make a decision to move forward with good people, then it's like Paul said, it's a better life, and it's just a better way to do things. We have bike issues.
Shannon, what's Brian?
Our sales actually went down from 2008, but that's mostly because we work with a lot of developers, so we had different points in the sales cycle. This year, we're on target to do much better.
Interesting how he talked about developers, because I know Paul is very much working with a lot of developers, and that business certainly has shifted. So it's affected you.
It has, but we're lucky because the developers we work with shifted with the market. We were very fortunate coming into this. Most of our clients didn't have a lot of inventory.
Good.
We got hit a couple of years back.
Yep.
When the market first started to change and no one knew it. We knew it, we felt it, but most people didn't know what was going on.
Okay, last question. And this is going to be an interesting question. I think everyone should think about this. It's really because, why are we in this business? So what is your big why? Why do you get up every day and go sell houses?
You're looking at me.
I'm looking at you.
Well, I have to tell you, that's an interesting question. Why? I mean, why are we even here? I mean, seriously, I asked that question the other day. Why was I
I
born?
thought I'd start with you.
However, it does provoke one to start looking at what it is. And what I notice about me, and I can only say it for me, is that I absolutely love what I do. I mean, I know that, when I come into the office and Scott will say, oh my God, what's she on? What drug is she taking? Because I'm really happy about the challenges that my buyers and sellers provide for me. For me, it's like a great big game. Okay, let's play the game of real estate. In fact, my listing package is set up that way. It is a game. And, and I like to win, by the way. You haven't figured it out. However, it's really, if I start peeling it away, it's like, then I go and look at my goals. What are my goals? And when I start looking at the goals, my goals are, I want freedom. I want freedom of my time. I want financial freedom. I want freedom to choose my life by design. Where's Dennis? So that's really what it comes down to, is that, I want the freedom to choose my clients, so that requires me to do work. And I love to, and I'm a doer. I'm a real doer. I love to work. And so that works for me. That may not work for everybody. And so that's my big why. Why not?
Alex?
Well, ever since I got that email from you, the last question, the big why, I've asked myself, what is my big why? And I realized, I thought, I don't really have a big why, as they say, per se. For me, it's really, and I have to agree with Ingrid, well, we're twins.
We are twins.
Like everybody
Separate
else.
mothers, but we're the same.
We are twins. I really love what I do. I love the problems that present themselves with the real estate. Because every deal is different. And I like that. I get easily bored. So I don't have that problem in real estate.